Welcome back to Rarest Coins, where we dive deep into the world of rare and valuable coins. In today's episode, we're going to talk about a penny that's often overlooked but has the potential to be worth far more than its face value. That's right, we're talking about the 1963 Lincoln penny, a coin that could be hiding in your change jar right now, and it might be worth a lot of money. When most people think of valuable pennies, they usually jump straight to the famous 1943 steel penny or the 1909 SVD penny. But let me tell you, the 1963 Lincoln penny can actually fetch a pretty penny, especially if you know what to look for. So, if you've got a 1963 penny lying around, keep watching. You might just have a hidden treasure on your hands. Rarest coins. Now, let's break down what makes the 1963 Lincoln penny stand out and why it could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. The 1963 Lincoln penny is part of the series that has featured Abraham Lincoln's image on the obverse side since 1909. The reverse side shows the iconic Lincoln Memorial, which was first introduced in 1959. In 1963, over 1 billion pennies were minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. So, while it may seem like a very common coin, it's actually more than just a regular penny when it comes to certain versions, especially in exceptional condition. Here's where things get interesting. Most 1963 pennies are not worth much more than their face value. However, there are some key factors that can make the 1963 Lincoln penny a valuable collector's item. The first factor that can increase the value of any coin, including the 1963 Lincoln penny, is its condition. Coins are graded based on their appearance, with the highest grade being MS 70, mint state 70. Which means the coin is perfect, showing no signs of wear or damage. If you come across a 1963 Lincoln penny in near perfect condition, such as a coin graded MS 65 or higher, it could be worth a lot more than a typical circulated coin. Cut to images of coins graded from MS 60 to MS 67. A coin with a grade of MS 65 or higher can often fetch anywhere from $10 to $50 or more, depending on demand, while coins graded at the higher end, like MS 67, could see values in the $200 range or higher. Rarest coins. But wait, there's another version of the 1963 penny that's worth even more to collectors. The 1963 proof penny. In 1963, the U.S. Mint also struck proof pennies, which were specially made for collectors. These coins were struck multiple times using polished dies, giving them a shiny, mirror-like finish. Because they were made with care and not intended for circulation, they are much rarer than regular pennies and are often in better condition. A 1963 proof penny in perfect condition could be worth $20 to $40 or more, but if the coin has a higher grade, it could fetch upwards of $100 or more. These are highly sought after by collectors due to their pristine appearance and rarity. Beyond condition, one of the key ways to determine if your 1963 penny could be worth a lot more is by looking for error varieties. Rarest coins. One of the most valuable errors you can find on the 1963 penny is the double die variety. A double die error occurs when the coin's design is struck multiple times, resulting in visible doubling of letters or numbers. If you find a 1963 Lincoln penny with noticeable doubling, especially on the date or the words Liberty and In God We Trust, you could have a coin worth hundreds of dollars or more, depending on the S. Welcome back, coin enthusiasts, to Rarest Coins. Today, we have a truly exciting episode that could change the way you look at your loose change. If you've ever wondered if your collection of pennies could be worth something, you're in the right place, because today, we're talking about the 1964 Lincoln penny and how it could be worth a lot more than its face value. $2 million rarest coins. That's right. Today we're diving deep into one of the most sought-after pennies in the world of coin collecting, the 1964 Lincoln penny. It might look just like any other copper penny you've seen, but trust me, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. So, if you have a 1964 penny lying around, you might want to check it closely, because it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, What makes this particular penny so valuable? Let's break it down. Rarest coins. The 1964 penny was minted during a very interesting time in American history. The coin was produced at the Denver Mint and features the classic design of President Abraham Lincoln, with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. It's part of the iconic series of pennies that was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate Lincoln's 100th birthday. Now, you may be wondering what makes the 1964 stand out from the millions of other pennies minted in that era? Well, there's a key detail we need to talk about: a broken bar. Here's where it gets really interesting. Some 1964 pennies were actually struck with the D mint mark over a mint mark, which means they were double struck, or what collectors call a D over D variety. Rarest coins. This error occurs when a penny is accidentally struck twice with the same mint mark, leading to a noticeable doubling effect on the D letter. It's a relatively rare mistake, and that's what makes the 1964 penny so valuable to collectors today. In these double-struck examples, you'll notice the mint mark looks blurry or doubled. It's not an optical illusion, it's an actual error from the minting process, and it's this error that can make these pennies worth a small fortune. Colin, so how much could you get for a 1964 penny with this mint mark error? The value can vary greatly, depending on the condition of the coin and the severity of the doubling effect on the mint mark, but in general, here's what you could expect. A typical 1964 penny without any errors is worth about 1 cent, maybe 5 to 10 cents if it's in mint condition. But the double-struck D variety can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In fact, some of the most well-preserved examples of the 1964 D over D penny have sold for anywhere between $500 to $2,000 or more, depending on their grade. One of the most notable sales was the 1964 double-struck penny that sold for over $2,000 at an auction. But even if your coin isn't in perfect condition, a less pristine example can still bring in a few $100s. It all depends on how well the doubling effect shows up and the overall quality of the coin. Rarest coins. So, how do you spot a 1964 penny with a double D mint mark? It's all about the details. First, grab a magnifying glass or a coin loupe. You'll want to focus on the D mint mark, located on the bottom right of the obverse side, right beneath Lincoln's shoulder. If you see two overlapping or double D letters, then you've got a true D over D error. The doubling may be more pronounced in some coins than others, but look closely, and this is the feature you're hunting for. Another tip: look at the overall quality of the coin. If it's in good shape, with minimal wear, that can also add significant value. Coins with little to no wear are classified A. Welcome back to Rarest Coins. Today, we're going to talk about a penny that you might have in your pocket right now. That's right, today we're diving into the world of the 1975 Lincoln penny, a coin that could be worth far more than just 1 cent. Whether you're new to collecting or a seasoned numismatist, this episode is packed with some exciting insights about this particular penny. So, stay tuned, and you don't want to miss this. Colin, now, when you think of valuable pennies, you probably think of coins like the 1909 VDB or the 1943 steel penny. But what about the 1975 Lincoln penny? This coin, minted in the mid-70s, doesn't immediately stand out as a rare find. However, there are certain features of the 1975 penny that could make it worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars if you know what to look for. So, what exactly makes this coin so special? Let's take a closer look. First, let's go back in time. The 1975 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running series of pennies that feature President Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse side. The reverse side, introduced in 1959, showcases the Lincoln Memorial, an image that remained in use until 2008. In 1975, over 4.5 billion pennies were struck by the U.S. Mint, making this a fairly common coin overall. But just because it was produced in large numbers doesn't mean it's not valuable. Like with any coin, the real value comes from its condition, rarity, and sometimes the little imperfections that make it unique. Rarest coins. Colin, so, How can a 1975 Lincoln penny be worth a lot of money? There are a few factors that can influence its value, including its condition, any errors or varieties, and its status as a proof coin. Let's break it down. First up, we have condition. As with any coin, the condition of a 1975 penny plays a huge role in its value. Coins are graded based on their appearance, and the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin tends to be. For example, a well-worn 1975 penny that's been circulating for decades may only be worth its face value or a small premium if it's in above-average condition. But if you have a 1975 penny in excellent, mint-like condition, you could see that value jump to $5, $10, or even more, depending on the grade. A coin in MS65, mint state 65, or higher could be worth anywhere from $10 to $30, while a perfect, uncirculated coin with a grade of MS67 or higher might fetch as much as $100 or more. Rarest coins. Another version of the 1975 Lincoln penny is the proof penny. These coins were struck specifically for collectors and feature a mirror-like finish that makes them highly desirable. The U.S. Mint produced proof sets each year, and the 1975 proof penny is one of the most sought-after coins in those sets. If you have a 1975 proof penny, and it's in pristine condition, it could be worth between $10 to $50. But if you find a proof coin with a high grade or a unique characteristic, like a deep cameo finish, it could be worth even more. Rarest coins. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Error coins and varieties. A key to discovering valuable coins like the 1975 penny is knowing what to look for in terms of minting mistakes. One of the most exciting things you can find on a 1975 penny is a double die error. This happens when the coin is struck more than once, and the design appears doubled. The most common place to find doubling is on the letters or numbers, especially on the word Liberty or the date 1975 itself. If you have a 1975 penny with noticeable doubling on the date or lettering, you found. Welcome back to Rarest Coins. Today, we're diving into a fascinating coin that could be hiding right under your nose. That's right, the 1973 Lincoln penny. While most people see it as a regular penny, there are some rare varieties and unique characteristics that could make your 1973 penny worth much more than just 1 cent. Stick around, because this episode is packed with valuable info that could help you cash in on your change. The 1973 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might seem like just another penny in your pocket. But as we dive into the details, you'll see that it could actually be worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars, depending on certain factors. So, if you have a 1973 penny lying around, you'll definitely want to keep watching to see if it's a hidden treasure. Let's start by taking a closer look at the 1973 penny and why some of these coins might be worth a lot more than their face value. $1 million rarest coins. The 1973 Lincoln penny is part of the ongoing series of pennies that have featured President Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse side since 1909. The reverse of the coin, which shows the Lincoln Memorial, was used from 1959 all the way up until 2008, when the U.S. Mint introduced a new reverse design. In 1973, the U.S. Mint produced billions of these pennies, both in Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, mint mark D. In fact, over 4 billion 1973 pennies were minted, which means most of these coins are still relatively common. But, as any collector knows, rarity and condition are key when it comes to determining a coin's value. $1 million rarest coins. So, what exactly makes the 1973 Lincoln penny potentially valuable? Well, there are a few factors that could significantly increase the worth of a 1973 penny. Primarily its condition, any rare varieties or errors, and whether it's a proof coin. Rarest coins. One of the biggest factors that affects the value of any coin, including the 1973 Lincoln penny, is its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. For example, A 1973 penny that's been circulating for decades and has a lot of wear and tear is worth very little, maybe just a few cents. However, if the penny is in uncirculated condition, it could be worth much more. A 1973 penny graded at MS 65, mint state 65, or higher could fetch anywhere from $5 to $20, depending on demand and other factors. But if you find one with the perfect, flawless grade, say MS 67 or MS 68, it could be worth $50 to $100 or more. So, it's definitely worth inspecting your 1973 pennies carefully. Rarest coins. Another important type of 1973 Lincoln penny is the proof coin. Proof coins are specially struck for collectors and are often in pristine condition with the mirror-like finish. Unlike regular coins that are made for circulation, proof coins are struck multiple times to ensure their detail is as sharp as possible. If you have a 1973 proof penny, it's definitely a more valuable coin, especially if it's in good condition. In general, 1973 proof pennies can be worth anywhere from $5 to $20, but if the coin has a higher grade or special features, its value can rise significantly. Rarest coins. Now here's where things get really exciting: error coins and varieties. Rare minting mistakes can make a coin far more valuable, and there are some unique errors that can be found on the 1973 Lincoln penny that can send its value soaring. One of the most valuable errors to look for on the 1973 Lincoln penny is the... Welcome back to Rarest Coins. Today, we're going to talk about a penny that's likely in your pocket or coin jar right now at the 1968 Lincoln penny. You might be surprised to learn that this seemingly ordinary coin can actually be worth a lot of money. In this video, we're going to uncover why the 1968 Lincoln penny is so valuable, what to look for, and how you can turn this common coin into a small fortune. Don't go anywhere, let's dive right in. Rarest coins. When you hear the year 1968, you might not immediately think of a valuable coin. But when it comes to the 1968 Lincoln penny, you could be sitting on a hidden gem. In this video, I'll walk you through why this penny, minted in Denver, is much more valuable than you might think. Whether you've got one coin or a whole roll, knowing the value of your 1968 Lincoln penny could make you a lot of money. So let's get into it. Here it is, the 1968 Lincoln penny. It doesn't seem like anything special, right? But there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. Let's break down the history of the 1968 penny, and then we'll get into the details that could make this coin worth far more than just 1 cent. First, let's take a quick look at the historical context. The 1968 Lincoln penny was minted during an interesting time in U.S. history. The country was in the midst of significant social and political changes, and the U.S. Mint was adjusting to a rapidly evolving economy. The 1960s also marked the transition to more modern minting processes. The 1968 Lincoln penny was produced in large numbers. Over 3.4 billion coins were minted in Denver alone that year. It features the familiar design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which had been in use since 1959. However, what makes the 1968 penny stand out is not the design, but rather its potential to contain rare features or errors that can make it incredibly valuable. Rarest coins. So, why could the 1968 Lincoln penny be worth so much more than its face value? The answer lies in a few key factors: coin condition, rare errors, and even minting anomalies that make this coin stand out from the crowd. Let's take a deeper look. First, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. As with any coin, the better the condition, the higher the value. Coins are graded on a scale from poor, P1, to mint state, MS 70, and the higher the grade, the more money the coin can command. For a 1968 penny, A well-worn coin in lower grades like good or very good will only be worth its face value, or maybe a small premium if it's in above-average circulated condition. But, if you have a 1968 penny in mint state condition, like MS65 or higher, you could be looking at a coin worth $5, $10, or even more. A coin in MS65 condition typically sells for about $5 to $10, but as the grade increases, they say, MS67 or MS68 the value can shoot up to $50, $100, or even more, depending on demand. And remember, the higher the grade, the more collectors will want it. Now here's where things get really interesting: rare mint errors. While the vast majority of 1968 pennies are just regular coins, there are some with errors that can make them worth a lot more. These errors can happen during the minting process, leading to unique features or flaws on the coin. Rarest coins. One of the most valuable errors to look for on a 1968 penny is the double die obverse, or DDO. This occurs when the coin is struck more than once, resulting in a doubling effect on the design elements. If you're looking at your 1968 penny and notice that the lettering, particularly on Liberty. Welcome back to Rarest Coins, the place where we uncover hidden gems in your pocket change. Today, we're diving deep into a penny you probably have lying around at the 1965 Lincoln penny. This might seem like just another copper coin, but did you know that some of these pennies could be worth a lot more than 1 cent? Stick around as we explore the 1965 Lincoln penny's potential to make you some serious money. That's right, folks, the 1965 Lincoln penny. Most of these coins are not worth much, but there are certain factors, errors, and rare varieties that can make this penny incredibly valuable. Whether you've got a single 1965 penny or a roll of them, you might be sitting on a hidden treasure. Let's dive into the specifics and see what makes the 1965 Lincoln penny so special. Here it is, the 1965 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might seem like just another penny from the mid-60s. But this year is significant because of several rare errors and key details that could drastically increase the value of your coin. Before we get into the rare varieties and errors that make the 1965 Lincoln penny valuable, let's take a quick look at its history. The year 1965 was a pivotal one in U.S. coinage. The United States was facing a coin shortage, and it was the year the U.S. Mint transitioned from using 90% silver to copper nickel-clad coins. The 1965 Lincoln penny, however, remained 95% copper and 5% zinc, just like the previous years. But something important happened in 1965 that sets it apart from other years. The Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which had been in use since 1959, remained, but the coinage landscape was changing. So while the design itself didn't change, there were still plenty of opportunities for rare mistakes to occur. And that's where the value lies in the 1965 penny. Rarest coins. So, why is the 1965 Lincoln penny worth more than just a single cent? Well, there are a few key factors that can increase the value of this coin, such as its condition, the presence of rare errors, and even its scarcity in certain varieties. First, let's talk about the importance of coin condition. When it comes to coin collecting, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70, and the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin can be. For the 1965 Lincoln penny, most of them that have been in circulation for decades are in lower grades, which means they're worth just a few cents above face value. However, if you happen to find a 1965 penny that's in near-perfect or uncirculated condition, it can be worth quite a bit more. A 1965 Lincoln penny in mint state 65, MS65, could be worth around $10 to $15, while a higher grade coin, say MS67, could easily fetch $30 to $50 or more. But if you have a perfect, flawless coin A like an MS-68A that could be worth upwards of $100 or more, depending on demand and market conditions. Rarest coins. But here's where things get really exciting, error coins. Mint errors can dramatically increase the value of your coin. For the 1965 Lincoln penny, there are several key errors and varieties that you need to be on the lookout for. If you're lucky enough to find one of those rare mistakes, you could be holding a small fortune. One of the most famous and valuable errors for the 1965 penny is the double die obverse, or DDO. This error occurs when the coin is struck multiple times, resulting in doubled images on the design A, often visible on the date, the word Liberty, and In God We Trust. If you come across a 1965 penny with visible doubling on any of these areas, you could have a highly valuable coin on your hands. Welcome back, coin enthusiasts. You're watching Rarest Coins, where we dive deep into the world of rare coins and hidden treasures. In today's video, we're going to talk about a penny that you might have lying around in your coin jar, the 1968 Lincoln penny. While this might seem like just another regular coin, there are certain varieties and rare errors that can make this coin worth a lot more than just 1 cent. So, stick around to find out how this penny could be your ticket to a small fortune. That's right, the 1968 Lincoln penny, a coin that most people probably overlook, but one that has some surprising potential when it comes to value. Today, we'll talk about why this particular penny could be worth a lot more than you might expect, and how to spot the rare varieties and errors that make it so valuable. Whether you have one in your collection or just found one in your pocket change, this video will help you understand its true worth. This is the 1968 Lincoln penny A coin minted over 50 years ago, featuring the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse and the bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. So, what makes this penny so interesting? Well, there are a few key factors to consider, including coin condition, rare errors, and minting anomalies that could drastically increase its value. Before we dive into the details, let's take a quick look at the history of the 1968 Lincoln penny. 1968 was a year of transition in U.S. coinage. The United States was in the midst of significant changes in its economy and the minting of coins. The U.S. Mint had recently introduced clad coinage for dimes and quarters, but the penny, along with the nickel and half dollar, remained 95% copper in composition. The 1968 Lincoln penny also marks a key year in terms of mintage. Over 3.4 billion 1968 pennies were produced across the Denver and Philadelphia mints. This means that while there are a lot of them out there, certain varieties, especially those with errors, are much harder to come by and therefore more valuable. Rarest coins. So why is the 1968 Lincoln penny worth more than just 1 cent? The answer lies in several factors. Specifically, the coin's condition, its rarity, and the possibility of errors that can make certain 1968 pennies extremely valuable. Let's break these down one by one. Rarest coins. When it comes to coin collecting, the condition of the coin is one of the most important factors in determining its value. Coins are graded based on their level of wear, with the scale ranging from poor, P1, to mint state, MS-70. For a 1968 Lincoln penny in circulated condition, you're typically looking at a coin worth just a little more than face value. But, if your 1968 penny is in uncirculated condition, meaning it hasn't been used much and still has its original luster, then you could be looking at a coin worth anywhere from $5 to $10 in great condition, and even more if it's graded higher. A 1968 Lincoln penny in MS-65 or MS-66 could be worth $5 to $10, but if the coin reaches MS-67 or MS-68, you're talking about a value closer to $50 or $100, or even higher, depending on the market and the coin's demand. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Error coins. Some 1968 pennies were struck with minting mistakes, and these errors can make the coin worth a lot more than a regular, non-error penny. Rarest coins. One of the most valuable errors to look for on a 1968 Lincoln penny is the double die obverse. or DDO. This error happens when the coin is struck multiple times, causing the design to appear doubled, especially in areas like the date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust." If you spot noticeable doubling on it, welcome back to Rarest Coins, where we explore the hidden value in everyday coins. Today, we're going to talk about the 1971 Lincoln penny, a coin that might look like just another penny from the 70s, but in reality, it could be worth a lot more than you think. Stick around to find out what makes the 1971 Lincoln penny so special and how you can spot those rare varieties and minting errors that could make this coin worth a small fortune. You've probably seen a 1971 Lincoln penny before, and chances are you've just tossed it aside with the rest of your loose change. But did you know that some of these pennies are worth far more than their face value? Whether you've got a single 1971 penny or a whole jar of them, there are certain varieties and errors that could make you a serious profit. So, let's get into it and see what makes the 1971 Lincoln penny one of the more interesting coins to look for. Rarest coins. First, let's set the stage with a little history. The 1971 Lincoln penny was minted during a time when the United States was experiencing inflation and a rise in the demand for coins. The U.S. Mint produced a massive number of pennies that year, over 4 billion to be exact. But even with such a high mintage, the 1971 Lincoln penny is still a coin worth paying attention to. Why is that? Well, there are several key factors that make this coin interesting for collectors, including the transition to a more modern design, its unique varieties, and some important minting errors that we'll dive into. So, while there are lots of regular 1971 pennies out there, there are also rare versions that can fetch a high price. So, what makes the 1971 Lincoln penny stand out? Well, there are several reasons this penny could be worth more than its 1-cent value. Let's take a closer look at the factors that influence its value. $1 million rarest coins. The first factor to consider when evaluating the value of your 1971 Lincoln penny is its condition. Coin grading is incredibly important in the world of numismatics, and even the smallest imperfection can impact the price of a coin. Coin condition is graded on a scale from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70, with coins in higher grades being worth more. For example, a 1971 Lincoln penny in poor or worn condition might be worth just 1 cent, or maybe a bit more if it's in decent shape. However, a 1971 penny in uncirculated or mint condition can be worth a lot more. A coin graded MS65 or MS66 could be worth $5 to $10, and if it reaches MS67, it could fetch $20 to $30 or more, especially if it's perfectly preserved. Now, here's where the 1971 Lincoln penny starts to get really interesting. One of the most valuable errors for this year is the double die obverse, or DDO. This error happens when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or improperly created, resulting in doubling of the design. The most common place you'll see this doubling is on the date or the word liberty. If you come across a 1971 penny with noticeable doubling, especially on liberty or the date, you could be looking at a rare and valuable coin. The 1971 DDO penny is a highly sought-after error, and depending on the severity of the doubling and the coin's grade, it could be worth anywhere from $50 to $500 or more. In top condition, these coins can sometimes sell for even higher prices at auctions. Rarest coins. Another rare and valuable error to look for is the off-center strike. This occurs when the penny is not aligned properly during the minting process, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted to one side. An off-center 1971 penny can be highly collectible, depending on. Welcome back to Rarest Coins, where we dive deep into the world of rare and valuable coins. In today's video, we're going to talk about a seemingly simple coin, the 1977 Lincoln penny. You might think it's just another cent from the late 70s, but trust me, this penny could be worth much more than you think. Rarest coins, that's right. Today we're focusing on the 1977 Lincoln penny. While most people probably consider this just a common, everyday coin, There are actually some rare varieties, minting errors, and special conditions that could make your 1977 penny worth a lot more than just 1 cent. If you're a coin collector or just starting out, this is one penny you definitely want to keep an eye on. So, what makes this particular penny so interesting? Let's get into the details and talk about how certain 1977 pennies can be worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars. Rarest coins. Before we dive into its value, let's take a quick look at the history of the 1977 Lincoln penny. The 1977 penny was minted at a time when the U.S. was seeing inflation and a shift in coin production. It was also the year that the Lincoln Memorial design, the one most of us are familiar with, was still on the reverse of the coin. The mint produced billions of these pennies in both Philadelphia and Denver, but despite its large mintage, the 1977 penny has some key features and errors that make it worth paying attention to. Now, let's take a closer look at what makes the 1977 Lincoln penny unique, and why certain versions are worth way more than just face value. So, what determines the value of the 1977 Lincoln penny? There are several important factors to consider, including its condition, the presence of any rare mint errors, and how the coin was minted in the first place. Let's break these down. Rarest coins. When it comes to coins, condition is everything. Coins are graded based on their level of wear, and this is one of the biggest factors in determining how much your 1977 Lincoln penny could be worth. Coins are graded using a scale that ranges from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70. A penny in poor condition might only be worth face value, while a penny in excellent condition could be worth far more. For example, a 1977 penny in uncirculated condition could be worth anywhere from $5 to $10, depending on its grade. Voiceover: the higher the grade, the higher the value. For a coin graded MS65 or MS66, the price could rise to $10 to $20. And if your 1977 penny is graded MS67 or higher, you could be looking at a value of $50 to $100 or more. Now, here's where things get really exciting. Some 1977 Lincoln pennies were struck with minting errors that make them worth a lot more than the average penny. So, let's take a look at a few of the most valuable error types to watch for. Rarest coins. One of the most valuable errors to look for on the 1977 penny is the double die obverse, or DDO. This error occurs when the coin is struck multiple times, causing parts of the design to appear doubled. The most common places to find doubling on the 1977 penny are on the word liberty or the date. If you can spot clear, noticeable doubling in these areas, your penny could be worth significantly more. A 1977 DDO penny in good condition can be worth $50 to $100, but in high-grade, uncirculated condition, it could be worth $200 or more. In some rare cases, especially with high-quality examples, prices can even reach into the thousands. Welcome back to Rarest Coins, the place where we uncover the hidden value in everyday coins. Today, we're going to talk about the 1962 Lincoln penny, a coin you might have lying around in your spare change, but trust me, this little penny could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. Stay tuned, because in today's video, we're going to dive deep into why the 1962 Lincoln penny is a hidden gem in the world of numismatics. The 1962 Lincoln penny is one of those coins that may seem pretty standard at first glance, but when you take a closer look, it can actually be worth quite a bit more than its face value, whether it's due to its condition, rare errors, or even the specific minting processes of that year. There are a few things you should know if you come across one of those coins. So, let's break it down and see what makes the 1962 Lincoln penny so special. Rarest coins. Before we dive into what makes the 1962 penny so valuable, let's take a moment to look back at its history. The 1962 Lincoln penny was struck during a time when the U.S. Mint was producing a large number of coins to meet the growing needs of a post-war economy. The penny featured the same design as it had since 1909, with President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. That year, the U.S. Mint produced nearly 3 billion pennies in both Philadelphia and Denver. So on the surface, it might seem like a pretty common coin. But as we'll explore, there are specific factors that make the 1962 Lincoln penny worth more than just 1 cent. Colin, so, what exactly makes the 1962 Lincoln penny worth more than face value? Well, there are a few key factors to look out for. Let's break them down. Rarest coins. The first thing to consider when determining the value of your 1962 Lincoln penny is its condition. Just like with any coin, the better the condition, the higher the value. Coins are graded on a scale from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70, and this grading system is crucial for understanding what your penny is worth. For example, if you have a 1962 penny in poor condition, maybe it's worn or has visible scratches, and it might only be worth a couple of cents. But if you've got a well-preserved 1962 penny in uncirculated or mint condition, it could be worth much more. A 1962 penny in mint state, MS65 or higher, could be worth anywhere from $5 to $10 or more. A coin with high-quality preservation can be worth significantly more. For example, if your 1962 penny is graded MS66 or higher, it could fetch up to $20 or even more in the right market. Now, here's where things get really interesting. One of the most valuable errors to look for on the 1962 penny is the double die obverse, or DDO. This occurs when the die that strikes the coin is misaligned, causing the design to be a double on the coin. The most common place you'll see this doubling is on the word Liberty and the date. If you look closely at the 1962 penny and see a noticeable doubling, especially on Liberty or In God We Trust, you've got a valuable error on your hands. The 1962 DDO penny can be worth anywhere from $50 to $500 or more, depending on the severity of the doubling and the coin's grade. In exceptional condition, it could be worth even more. If you come across a high-grade 1962 DDO penny, you're looking at a rare find that could pay off handsomely. Rarest coins. Another valuable error to look for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned in the minting press, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted off-center. An off-center strike can range from SL